The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them. These words from Ida B. Wells resonate through history, echoing the call for justice. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a dark cloud loomed over America as lynching terrorized African American communities. These brutal acts were systematic, fueled by racism and silence. Wells emerged as a beacon of truth, wielding her pen like a sword against injustice, at great personal cost. Born into slavery in 1862, Wells faced racial and gender discrimination early on. Her parents instilled the value of education and the importance of standing up for what is right. When yellow fever took her parents, she became the caretaker for her siblings, igniting a fierce resilience within her. Determined to carve out a future, she pursued education and became a teacher, yet the injustices she witnessed were inescapable. In 1892, the lynching of her friend Thomas Moss shocked her to the core. A successful businessman, the only crime he committed was being black and prosperous. This violent act catalyzed Wells, compelling her to investigate and expose the truth behind lynchings. She gathered evidence and published her findings, risking her life. Faced with hostility and threats, she pressed on, knowing the critical importance of shedding light on this dark chapter of American history. Wells' pamphlet, Southern Horrors, Lynch Law in All Its Phases, revealed the lies perpetuated by racist narratives. Contrary to claims of protecting white womanhood, she exposed that most lynching victims were innocent black men falsely accused of crimes. Her relentless pursuit of justice brought her both acclaim and condemnation, forcing her into exile. For Wells, truth was worth any sacrifice. As she traveled nationwide and internationally, speaking out against lynching and advocating for civil rights, her influence rippled through time. Wells' legacy became a rallying cry for future generations, including a young Martin Luther King Jr., who would stand against the very injustices she exposed. King's approach echoed Wells' commitment to truth and justice. In times of racial strife, he emphasized the power of nonviolent resistance and the urgent need to end racial violence. The connection between their struggles is palpable. Wells broke barriers, paving the way for future activists inspired by her courageous spirit. Reflecting on the legacy of Ida B. Wells reveals her profound impact on the fight for justice. Her words and actions planted seeds that blossomed in the hands of a new generation, including MLK. His declaration, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere," resonates with her undying influence in the ongoing battle against oppression. Today, as we march for civil rights, we carry the indelible marks left by pioneers like Wells and King. Their struggles remind us that the fight is not over, it has merely begun. Each of us holds the power to continue their legacies, standing in solidarity against injustice, ensuring that truth shines brightly in society's darkest corners. Wells' legacy profoundly influenced not only her contemporaries but also generations that followed, including King. Born into a society thriving on oppression, she emerged with unwavering resolve to expose the brutal realities of lynching and discrimination. Her relentless investigations and writings sparked outrage and mobilized a movement. The lynching of Thomas Moss ignited a fire within her. This was not just a statistic, it was a call to arms. Fueled by grief, she detailed the violence against black men, challenging the justifications for these heinous acts. Her pamphlet became a powerful tool for awakening consciousness, revealing the true crime lay in the society that condoned these murders. Wells traveled, speaking loudly against racial terror, energizing a movement that laid the groundwork for leaders like King. The women in the civil rights movement faced uphill battles, yet Wells stood resolute, a trailblazer whose tenacity became a compendium of courage for countless followers. King learned from Wells' indomitable spirit. As he began his own journey, he recited her words as a guiding mantra. Wells revealed the power of truth, King wielded that truth with elegant simplicity. He understood that the civil rights battle was interconnected, against all forms of oppression. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, as King led marches, he carried forth the lessons from those before him, including Wells. In Birmingham, amid protests, King understood the world's eyes were watching. He painted a picture of hope and despair, echoing Wells' cries for justice and equality. When he encouraged followers to stand firm against violent oppression, he channeled Wells' spirit, whose strength ignited the flame of resistance decades earlier. Wells' achievements laid the groundwork for the nonviolent protests King championed, understanding that moral authority was a potent weapon. This became a cornerstone of King's philosophy as he preached nonviolence, invoking Wells' fierce determination. The bridges between their struggles are powerful. The ideals Wells fought for were woven into King's mission. Each step taken during the civil rights movement was imbued with the strength that Wells exemplified. Just as Wells stood against injustice, King inspired a movement that dared to dream of a better tomorrow. Together, they remind us that the fight for justice is a continuum, urging each generation to rise and carry the torch of equality. On August 28, 1963, at the Lincoln Memorial, King delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech to over 250,000 people. Transforming tension into hope, he recounted his dream of a nation where character, not skin color, mattered. This moment crystallized the civil rights struggle, a call to arms for present and future generations. Wells' influence permeated King's words. Her courageous exposés on lynching provided a foundation for his movement. As he spoke of freedom, he channeled her spirit, urging all to envision a tomorrow unshackled from prejudice. King articulated the undeniable demand for justice with a spiritual urgency that stirred the souls of listeners. As his voice faded into the sky, the world recognized King not just as a leader, but as a beacon of hope, articulating the call for justice. The moment at the Lincoln Memorial solidified his legacy, intertwining it with the efforts of predecessors like Wells, whose influence remained undiminished. King's impact reaches beyond the civil rights movement. His philosophy inspired movements worldwide. His teachings echoed in struggles for liberation against oppression. Today, his words resonate with protests against systemic racism and inequality. Each time voices rise against injustice, they draw strength from King's vision and the spirit of those before him, including Wells. The relevance of King's legacy is undeniable. Activists invoke his teachings to navigate contemporary social issues. The Black Lives Matter movement embodies King's dream, a fight against prevailing inequities. When communities come together to demand justice, we witness the continuation of a journey that began long before King took the stage in Washington. King's beliefs extend to broader themes of justice, love, and human dignity. His insistence on nonviolence serves as a powerful guide, reminding us that real change requires resilience and compassion. His legacy challenges us to confront biases and advocate for marginalized voices. King urges us to stand firm in our beliefs, seeking justice for all humanity. Wells' influence on King reminds us of the interconnectedness of struggles across time. The work of unsung heroes fuels the fire for justice and equality. Each confrontation with injustice carries forth the torch lit by those who fought for what was right. King's legacy, intertwined with Wells', affirms that the pursuit of civil rights is an ongoing battle, requiring our active participation. In reflecting on their legacies, we must ask ourselves, what is our role in this continuum? How can we ensure their sacrifices do not fade into obscurity? Their passion compels us to act, challenging us to become changemakers, ensuring that the fight for justice remains relevant. By internalizing their struggles, we must find ways to address the injustices around us, becoming vigilant stewards of their legacies. This is the true measure of honoring their contributions. Let us reflect on their lessons, carrying forward the torch of justice, equality, and love, lighting the way for future generations. In our hearts and actions, let their dreams guide us, reminding us that the fight for justice is an enduring journey that each of us must undertake.